What's up, everybody? Trying to get my camera up here. There we go. Got some crazy flooding going on here. Some flash flooding. No flash flood warning, but we do have a mesoscale discussion. If you take a look here at the radar, you can see that mesoscale discussion extending all the way out to the Manning area, just up into Myrtle Beach, and down almost into Charleston. So we're looking at that right now, looking to maybe issue a flash flood watch or maybe a flash flood warning as some of these rains kind of persist down through. I just saw some images a little bit ago online for Grand Dunes area underwater. A lot of rain falling here in a very short amount of time. So just going to take a quick drive around, see what's going on, and check on current conditions here. Got some heavy rain falling throughout the area, so we can zoom in there. You can see those heavy bands on the radar right there. So we're going to go check that out as we go throughout the afternoon here now. If you're just tuning in, let me know where you're watching from in the comments. I'd love to chat with you. A lot of water on the road, so if you're out and about, be safe. Check out those heavy rain bands here on the radar. Essentially, really not moving very much. Just dropping a lot of rain here in a very short amount of time. Stuff out here. A lot of rain falling. Currently dumping our pool at our house right now again. take a look at that radar, you can see those heavy bands working their way through the Myrtle Beach area. Carolina Forest, Conway, all those areas receiving some pretty heavy rain right now. Much needed rain, but very heavy rain. Sorry about that. So Georgetown County right now is the only one under that flash flood warning. But we are starting to see some heavy range. And we got that mesoscale discussion, so I would assume probably we might see the Myrtle Beach area might see a flash flood warning here, as that's beginning to be observed in some parking lots and different areas there in Myrtle Beach. So we'll keep a close eye on that. I'll let you know as soon as something is issued on that. But we're live here on the chase, so welcome. Thanks for joining us. Please, if you're watching, let us know where you're watching from. I'd love to chat with you. So come on board and climb in the car here with us and come along. Doesn't seem like we can get a green light here today. It's too late. These outer bands kind of surprised us here this morning. So what actually happened was the low pressure that was coming through yesterday kind of split off on its own, went up north to the Outer Banks areas, and then actually this low pressure system kind of spun off on its own here and kind of formed just off the coast here. So now we're seeing these showers and storms coming in because of that storm, that second low pressure system forming. We're going to head down here. We did see some reports of some flooding here near the Grand Dunes area, so we're going to head down that way, take a look at what's going on. Still some very heavy rainfall falling there, so we're going to take a peek at what's going on down there. If you're just now joining us, let us know where you're watching from. Always love to see where people watch from. It's a brand new stream setup too, so I'm super excited to be able to use it. I was gonna go out last night and chase, but really didn't pan out the way I wanted it to be able to qualify for a chase. So, now we've got some flash flooding going on. We got some heavy rains. Now is the time that we want to get out and just let people know what's going on around the area. We're going to keep a close eye on the area here as these heavier bands start working through. They really haven't moved much, to be honest with you. It's been just pretty steady here in the Carolina Forest area, down to the beaches in Myrtle Beach. Definitely Georgetown's seen its fair share of rain over the past 5 or 6 hours, so it's been a lot. A lot of flooding going on, localized here, just not everywhere, but certain areas. Like I said, there's reports coming in. I just saw Jamie Arnold from WMBF posted about Grand Dunes area flooding there in some parking lots, and there were some cars not completely underwater, but up to the doors in water. So definitely a lot of rain falling here relatively quick as these outer bands start working their way in off this second low pressure system that formed just off the coast. So now we've got essentially two storms. One up there impacting the Outer Banks, the other one here impacting the Myrtle Beach area, bringing these heavier bands of showers and thunderstorms into the area. So I don't know if you saw the lightning this morning, but there is some lightning out there. You can see on radar out there near Loris was a recent lightning strike. That's a pretty heavy thunderstorm there. Coming through Carolina Forest area, there was some lightning a short time ago. Not a lot of lightning. Not a lot of ingredients there for the lightning either, but definitely an interesting turn of events. It's definitely outperforming what we expected, and that's all because that secondary surface low formed overnight last night, allowing for this extra moisture to be pumped into the area. Still got that mesoscale discussion for the flooding. Heavy rains. Not sure if they're going to issue any warnings or anything on that. We do have a flash flood advisory. No warnings as of yet, but we'll keep a close eye on that. I would anticipate maybe seeing a flash flood warning for the Carolina Forest to Myrtle Beach, maybe extending even out into Conway here not too long from now, but we'll see what happens there. I think it would be wise to issue one, given that we've got cars under large amounts of water here in the Grand Dunes, which is what we're going to go try and check out here right now. Got that notification a little bit ago. We are live heading into the Myrtle Beach area here. Very heavy rain falling here. I'm on Carolina Forest Boulevard heading towards International. We got some pretty heavy rain falling, which is not surprising given the photos that we just saw out of the Grand Dunes area, which is only on the other side of the intercoastal from here. So, gusty winds here. Right now, no flash flood warnings. We do have that flash flood advisory. Flash flood warning in Georgetown, but nothing here. That mesoscale discussion, they were looking at for maybe issuing some guidance and some warnings on flash flooding, but that has expired. So I'm not sure what they're going to do with the rains here. I would suspect we probably see a flash flood warning. Take a look at the water here on International. Got water across the road on International at Carolina Forest Boulevard. Do an M-ping report on that. Everybody that's tuned in, thank you for watching. Let me know where you're watching from in the comments. Let me know what you're seeing. Feel free to tag us on Twitter or Facebook in any of your videos or photos. We'd love to see what you're seeing out there right now. Rain's getting a little bit lighter on this side of Carolina Forest, which is a good thing. We got road closures being reported across the area, so be sure to check your traffic reports before heading out here today. There may be some road closures. Do not drive through high water, people. Carolina Forest Boulevard and International, high water across the road there, so be careful if you're heading out through there. Primarily the right-hand lane there. The left-hand lane looks pretty good, but right-hand lane going towards International on River Oaks. So I apologize, I said International, but it's Carolina Forest at River Oaks, heading towards International Drive. Now we're starting to get into a little more heavy rain here. I can zoom zoom in, I can turn this to go to If you're just now joining us, let me know where you're watching from. Leave a comment. Let me know what you're seeing. Send me some photos. You can see the winds are pretty blustery here. A pretty heavy band of rain moving through the area right now. Let's see if I can get my map to bring up my can't get it to work for me. There we go. Now you can see my location, where I'm at, by blinking on the map there. Good afternoon, everybody. If you're just tuning in, we are tracking some flash flooding here in the Myrtle Beach area. We are under a flash flood advisory. No warnings, which is surprising, but definitely keeping an eye on some roadways. I'm running up here to Grand Dunes real quick, and then I'm going to scoop back down 17. But we want to check out some areas that were reported to have some pretty nasty flooding going on. Near the Grand Dunes area, some parking lots covered in water. So we're going to check those areas out as well. Multiple road closures being reported across the local area here near the beaches. So keep an eye on that if you're heading out. But we're going to take a look and see what we find here. Keep you guys aware of what's going on. Rain's definitely slowing down here near the Grand Dunes area, which is good if we've got flooding happening. Hopefully that'll wash away pretty quick and move on out. Right now, no flash flood warnings, just a flash flood advisory in effect. We can take a look at that here. On the radar feed right there, you can see that flash flood warning down there in Georgetown and the flash flood advisory right here in Myrtle Beach. Let us know where you're watching from if you're just tuning in. Go up here, get turned around, and head back on 17. Right now it looks like we've got some, bring up the radar here. Got some heavy rain moving over the Highway 90 area, Grahamville, Nixonville area, heading towards the Conway, Carolina Forest area as well, up towards Red Hill. Those areas looking to get in some pretty heavy rain here relatively soon, so we'll keep an eye on that. Just tuning in, let me know where you're watching from. We're just driving around, checking on road conditions, seeing how things are going. There are some reports of some road closures throughout the area. You want to check your Google Maps for road closures. That should be updated. I'll let you know if I come across any here as we head down towards the Myrtle Beach area. I can tell you right now, heavy rain was passing through the Carolina Forest at River Oaks. That notorious intersection there was flooded. So I want to keep an eye on that if you're heading down into the Carolina Forest area, into River Oaks. Still under that flash flood advisory here. That extends all the way up through North Myrtle Beach as well. Blustery wind conditions, 20, 30 miles per hour sometimes. Everybody watching from? Anybody seeing anything, any flooding in your area where you're at? Feel free to tag us on X or Facebook. If you're on X, it's at MB Aware WX. That's our main Twitter account. We love to see it. See here just on the dash cam how it's raining pretty crazy here in the Myrtle Beach area. We're going to check out. Get soaking wet. Some of these low-lying areas is where you're going to be seeing most of these issues here today. Trying to get a couple things shouted out here to our friends. Feeling some of that heavier rain here on 17. Alright, so just issued flash flood warning for our area. We're going to go to the radar here and zoom out and check that out. So we've got a flash flood warning extending all the way from the Georgetown, Devido, Pawleys, all the way in through Carolina Forest. Flash flood warning just issued moments ago. Take a look at that here on the radar. We want to keep in mind, do not drive through high waters. This is a flash flood warning, so we've got heavy ponding. Enough has been reported now for them to issue that observed flash flood warning. Or sorry, it's radar indicated, but I'm pretty sure with everything we're posting, it's going to be observed here rather soon. So we definitely are under a flash flood warning now, which is what we said we would be looking at there. Sorry I had that music on, but flash flood warning has just been issued for the Myrtle Beach, extending all the way down to Pawleys Island, including Carolina Forest area up to about Red Hill, roughly. So we've got heavy rain coming through those areas right now, so we want to be cautious if you're out driving around. There are some road closures throughout the area, so be cautious of that as well. If you're just now tuning in, we do have a newly issued flash flood warning for the areas from Pawleys Island all the way to Carolina Forest. So we're going to grab a screenshot of this. And we will get that posted out here momentarily, okay? just now tuning in, we're out looking at current road conditions here. We just got a flash flood warning issued from Pawleys Island all the way to Carolina Forest. So we're keeping an eye on road conditions for that here. There are several road closures that have been noted, so you want to check your maps if you're heading out for that. I'm getting ready to post this flash flood warning here online momentarily here, so you guys can see that online for those that are not able to watch right now. Everybody watching, where are you watching from? Anybody got any flooding going on here? Send your pictures in. We'd love to see it. We'll get that posted out on X as well, so you guys have all the information, no matter where you're looking at it from. We'll take a look at the radar here. You can see that flash flood warning extending all the way up into Carolina Forest from Pawleys Island, Debedew, just north of Debedew, but Debedew is already included in that Georgetown flash flood warning from earlier. So we're getting everything out on social media here. It takes me a second when I'm out here chasing, because I got to find a place to pull over and take a close look at all of our software to get everything posted out there for you. The flash flood warnings in place for Georgetown and Horry counties, coastal areas, does not extend up into North Myrtle Beach. Briarcliff Acres is not included in that, but the central portion of Carolina Forest, all the way to the beach, is included in that flash flood warning. Looks like the Grand Dunes area is the hardest hit so far. can bring up the multi-coverage here so you can see the radar. Adjust that radar so you can see it a little bit better. You can still see that heavy band of rain still just lingering over the Carolina forest area. It has not changed. Heavier rain again as we're on 17 here heading or 501 heading across 17 up towards the Carolina forest area where some of those heavier rains are working their way through. So we're going to check out the Carolina forest area here again where heavy rain continues to fall. It's been raining pretty heavy for a little over an hour now. Enough to stem that flash flood warning there for our area. You guys are just tuning in, let us know where you're watching from. I'd love to know where you're watching from. A lot of these low-lying areas is what we're experiencing the flash flooding at the moment. But very heavy rain. I mean, it definitely surprised us here where that secondary low pressure system formed out off the coast and really started pumping in a lot of moisture here this morning, and that's where we're seeing these rain bands coming in. Got some more heavy rain trying to work its way into the Carol. It's just kind of wrapping around right now. Run that Carolina Forest Boulevard one more time down to River Oaks. Um, Check out that current situation there, and then we will take a trip around down towards the Surfside area. Essentially just doing a big giant circle. Highway 90 areas just get pounded with heavy rain out there. International, Lewis Ocean Bay area, River Oaks, just pounded with heavy rain. And it's been just nonstop. Never. It's just for like the last hour or so, maybe a little bit longer. Just pounding those areas. Not severe weather, tornadoes, and things like that, folks, but flash flooding is something that over the past year I really wanted to focus my attention to a little bit more because it is just as dangerous. It kills more people uh, throughout the years than it should. So we want to kind of start bringing some awareness to the flash flooding that does occur, and we are an area susceptible to it. We've seen it over the past couple days, between the king tides and this heavy rain here today in a very short amount of time. Flash flooding can happen, and it can very quickly take over roadways, and next thing you know, you become stranded. So if you're out there, don't run through this high water. It's not a good idea. You can very quickly become stranded. Happy Sunday, everybody. I wish it was a beautiful Sunday for you, but this is what we're dealing with today. If you're on the International Highway 90 down through the eastern portions of Carolina Forest, definitely seeing those heavy rains. Yeah, that includes the Grand Dunes area, where that seems to be the hardest hit so far. Um, as we're moving through the morning here, but a lot of reports of flooding coming in from that area, as well as this eastern portion of Carolina Forest. Primarily the River Oaks and Carolina Forest Boulevard area. That's prone to flooding down in there. It's a very low area and really bad drainage. But it looks like showers are starting to kind of break up just a little bit there, so that's going to help calm things down a little bit. Still heavy rain falling. It's not anywhere near what it was, but definitely starting to break up just a little bit. And things are going to continue to improve as we go throughout the rest of the day. These heavy rains are going to start working their way out of here, and we'll start seeing some breaks between showers. But overall, through the early evening hours, we're still going to be fighting some of this rain. But as far as the flash flooding potential, I think we're going to be pretty close to done with that here over the next 2, 3, maybe 4 hours or so. As soon as this stuff wants to work its way out of here. But for this area, we've just been kind of sitting there just spinning around, and just dumping water and rain right after another, right in the same area. So when you get things that happen like that, a lot of flooding does occur. Right now, currently, Carolina Forest, 65 degrees. It's a cool Sunday. Next weekend, we'll be back up in the 70s. So, looking forward to getting a little bit warmer. 50s and 60s just too cold for the beach, in my opinion. Some people may like it, but I don't think anybody moves here for 50 to 60 degree weather. Grandma, Zoo, nice to see you. Thank you. Stay safe. Yep, I am. Always. Got my seatbelt on. Not driving through high water. Thanks for tuning in. It's wonderful to see you. I have people, it's amazing when you start doing this and you build that reputation and you get your people that are always there when you stream. They're always there. It's fun. So we're coming up on International Drive, or I keep saying International, but we're coming up on Carolina Forest Boulevard and River Oaks. We're going to take a look at that current situation here. This always floods out there in front of the Circle K for some reason. It's just very low area. Drainage is no good, no bueno. Just one of those areas that always wants to flood on us. And they might have lanes closed here. Not sure. We'll see if it's still up over the roadway at all. It was a short time ago. Yeah, you can see that water right up over the road. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to pull into Circle K. I'm going to get out, take a couple photographs here. Take a couple videos. You got quite a mess going on out there in Greensea, I see. Let's take a look at this water here right up on the road. You can see the cars driving through it. This drainage here is just always terrible. Always terrible. And the rain is not slowing down right now. Let's see if I can get my jacket. Try and stay a little bit dry. Couple videos there. Oh, nice and wet now. Where's everybody watching from? See if this will post to X or not from here. The service is terrible. I'm sure you can tell by my stream dropping frames and need to get that Starlink. Anybody got connections at Starlink? Help me get some internet donated. Elon, where you at, buddy? Help me out. We're on a limited budget. Guys, if you're out and about driving around, do not drive through standing water. Just don't. It's a terrible idea. It seems fun hitting a puddle or whatever, but when you get stranded in there, it's not very fun. And then people got to get wet to come get you. Nobody likes getting wet. Folks do not know how to drive in standing water. Hey, folks should not drive in standing water. Period. No, I mean, sometimes you can't avoid it, but other times, that back there, an inch of water coming ponding on the roadway. It's just like hitting a big giant puddle, but they need to do something about that intersection and the drainage, because you get heavy rains, man, it's done. I mean, that's what it looks like. It's crazy. We'll build them houses, though. Rain's starting to slow down back to a normal, steady rain, so hopefully some of this will start to drain pretty quick. The heaviest portions of the rain are pretty much done, looking at the radar, so still under that flash flood warning. That'll expire probably about 2 hours from now. I'll let everything recede and get out of here. I'm happy I stay home. I'm watching traffic. Yeah, there's a lot of people out driving around. I mean, it is Sunday, church day, shopping, whatever they want to do. They were stuck at home yesterday, so I guess they figure we ain't getting stuck at home 2 days in a row. But I think I would have gone out and done my errands yesterday versus today, I guess. But things are going to simmer down here in a little bit. Got some ponding on the roadway here. But things will start to simmer down as we get into the afternoon and evening. We can check out to the west here and see there are some heavier showers out there around Ketchup Town, Green Sea, Loris, 701 corridor. Still some heavy rain there, and that will push this way eventually. You can see how it's all just wrapping around. Wind gusts have settled down 20, 25 miles per hour. Not a whole lot of wind, but it's all coming out of the north. But still under that flash flood warning. And that warning will expire in 2 hours. Some all being included on that. Make sure my stream's still up. Looks like I dropped it for a second. Sure my stream's still up. Yep, we're good. Trying to work with getting some licensing deals to be able to share at least my dash cam footage while I'm streaming. The way I have things set up is pretty neat. So I'm hoping that that might work out for me in the near future. But that's a ton of work, a ton of agreements and contracts and all of that stuff we have to go through. But, let's get this stuff out there. I mean, finally, I had the itch to chase some weather, and today is the day I scratch it. So, I know it's not much, but it's fun to drive around with you guys and keep you aware of what's going on around town. Should have a fresh radar scan coming through now. So little pockets of some heavier rain here. Not everybody's going to see that heavy rain, but little pockets of it coming out just north of Conway. That Lewis Ocean Bay International area. Still going to see some moderate rain here, but for the most part, everybody else looking light to moderate for the most part right now, which is a good thing. Get a break this afternoon from the rain, at least the heavy stuff. But again, like I said, that flash flood warning still in effect for another 2 hours. Don't think they'll let that expire. The one in Georgetown's still in effect here. They let that renew. So I'm just going to let you guys tag along with me until I get down to Surfside for my quick meeting this morning. Oh, fun fact, I just created a TikTok channel for Myrtle Beach Aware. It's at MB Aware WX. Um, if anybody cares to go over there and follow along. I'll be posting just basic reels of things that I shoot as I'm out and about, just different little various videos. But I wasn't going to, and then I decided, why not? It's extra exposure. Gonna figure out. I think you need like 1,000 followers or something to go live on TikTok, but I think you can go live through the computer, which is fine because I stream everything through the computer in the car, so I may be able to go live on there as well. So that'll be pretty exciting if I can add another live stream source other than YouTube and Facebook. So head on over to TikTok at MB Aware WX. Same as our X handle. Just now tuning in, we are just checking conditions around the area, road conditions here mostly. Uh, some heavy rain came through the area. We are under a flash flood warning extending parts of Carolina Forest, Forest Brook, Myrtle Beach, Socastee, Garden City, Merle's Inlet, down to Litchfield, and obviously that flash flood warning for Georgetown as well is still in effect. So our flash flood warning for here locally is good for another 2 hours. So we got a little bit to go yet as some of these light to moderate bands keep moving through the area. The heaviest of the rain is pretty much gone, but we do so have some pockets of moderate rain, mainly over that Lewis Ocean Bay area, extending into the Briarcliff Acres, those areas. But Briarcliff Acres is not under the flash flood warning, so most of that stemmed from some pretty decent flooding around the Grand Dunes area and then coastal flooding down along the coast. So you could see just a short time ago I was at River Oaks Drive and Carolina Forest Boulevard, where it naturally always floods there. um, and that was pretty high water there out of that ditch coming over the roadway. So just keep an eye on the roads if you're heading out. But other than that, everything else is flowing pretty good. Just normal rain here heading down past the airport right now. Hopefully everybody likes the new layout for the stream here. I got multiple scenes here that kind of switch up, makes sense, uh, keeps things interesting. If you like the look of the new stream, leave a comment or make any suggestions. What do you want to see? Are the warnings that flash on the screen big enough? You know, any other information that you guys want to see would be awesome. Currently in Carolina Forest, 65 degrees and rain. And I say Carolina Forest because that's where our home base is. So very soon we will have a Tempest weather station mounted to our vehicle, so we'll be able to give you accurate Tempest data for what's happening around the area live as it happens. So as I said before, you know, I fund this completely myself, so limited funds, so we do things little by little as we kind of move forward. But if you'd like to support us, tips are always graciously appreciated. And you can do that. There's links in the description for this stream. PayPal, Venmo, send stars on Facebook. Any of that helps. Every dollar we receive in the form of tips gets used right here within the organization. It does not go in my pocket to buy pizzas on Friday nights or anything like that. It's all used to pay for radar software, gas for the car, all of that equipment, rain jackets, cameras, all of that stuff, which is very expensive. But I put a lot of my time and money into the production of this, so you guys, I figured getting this information out to you guys was a little more important than buying extra equipment for our chase vehicle. So the stream is just about complete and done. I don't think I have to make any more investments into that for a little while. A little breezy down here by the beach. Winds out of the northwest. Road conditions down here near the airport, near normal for afternoon rain showers. little bit of ponding on the roads here and there, but the rain's really starting to break up pretty much here. Take a look at radar. You can see that rain really starting to break up here, and I'm going to turn off the storm chaser mode here so we can zoom out. We got another mesoscale discussion for heavy rainfall. That'll expire in 5 hours. Probably looking at issuing additional flash flood warnings. Probably out here near the Chadburn area, North Carolina, Loris. Those areas probably going to be seeing some additional flood advisories or warnings there for them. So they're watching these areas pretty heavy as we move through the next couple hours. So you can see that mesoscale discussion there. So they're watching it, keeping an eye on things. Radar indicated flash flood warning here. I think they still have that radar indicated. Yeah. So I would think that would be observed, but we've seen some flash flooding here around the area. But we've been reporting along the way here as we go. So we're going to keep a close eye. But you can see the rain showers here have diminished pretty rapidly for our area, but there are still some moderate showers out there as we go through the morning here. So be careful if you're heading out. The roads aren't too bad, just those couple areas that we looked at a little bit ago. River Oaks, we've got the Grand Dunes area that was hit pretty hard there with some heavy rain. So keep a close eye on the road if you're heading out. Don't drive through those high waters. Let's be smart. It's now joining us. Where are you watching from? We're starting to get into the fall severe weather season too. So not only we got the remainder of hurricane season, we do have some amplified troughs that are going to be starting to work across the country, which could bring the risk of severe weather here as we get into the fall. We're going to be tracking all of that here as we move into the fall months and into the winter towards Christmas time. So we could see an interesting severe weather season here moving into the fall and early winter. So something to keep an eye on there as we move through the next couple weeks. They're watching a trough that's moving across the country. I think out by the 19th, it could bring some severe weather to portions of Dixie Alley, Tornado Alley, Mississippi, Alabama, Arkansas, those areas, northern Texas. We're going to be watching that. But you know what? Everything that happens west eventually moves east. So we'll be keeping an eye on those troughs as they work their way and eject towards this area. So we'll see what happens with severe weather. But we're ready. I'm always ready to chase storms and keep you guys aware. So that's coming up here in the next couple weeks. We're going to start getting into that, as well as the remainder of hurricane season. Can't discount that either. We'll see if something can get going in the Caribbean here within the next 10 to 12 days. Long-range models, you can't ever trust them, but some of the long-range models are trending towards something trying to get started in the Caribbean. So we'll see about that too. Nothing in the Atlantic to worry about right now. So we're going to watch some of those long-range models and see if any of that verifies as we go through the next couple weeks. But overall, nothing right now. So today was the day to get some footage and get out and visit with you guys a little bit. We got a car broke down in the road here. I don't know if he waved me on, so he got it started. Yeah, they're moving. Okay. All right, so we've got another flash flood warning that was just issued. Actually, sorry, it's a flood advisory, and that includes those areas I was just talking about a little bit ago, Loris up to Green Sea, down to Carolina Forest, for those moderate showers that are moving through. So we do have that. We'll switch over here to the radar and take a look at that. You can see that area extending up into portions of eastern Conway and then up towards Loris Green, near Green Sea. But the Green Sea is not included in that. So, but yep. So moderate showers out there. We were just looking at that on the radar. So flash or flood advisory for your areas as well on that. So keep an eye on that. If you guys see anything, send over pictures, videos, all of that. I'd love to see it. All right, so we're gonna switch over here to the radar feed and just let you guys let that air here for a little while. If anything changes, I'm gonna come back. We'll be back out on the road here in a little bit, but I wanted to get that radar feed up for you guys and going, so we'll watch that as well here over the next little while.